Oh!
All right.
Oh!
Nice.
What is this, episode 49? 47.
46? I don't know.
I think it's 47. 46? Whatever. Fuck this podcast. We're out.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah. Welcome to episode Go Fuck Yourself. It is a rare in-person episode. We've had a couple beers, so it's a little bit of a buzz cast, an in-person cast.
Oh, it's a buzzy wuzzy.
We had some good food, so we're ready to fucking go, boys. Or I guess we had bad food then. Fuck you. You hate Freebirds. But I just had a couple little topics. I think Vitch did as well. My thing is there's a new Twitch channel that's taking over, and it's kind of funny. And then I saw a list, and I wanted your opinion on something on it, and we'll get to that. And then I don't know what you had.
Just some small stuff.
Fuck yeah.
Nothing major.
All right, fuck yeah. Well, let's go into it. Well, the thing I saw that I thought was funny is there is a Twitch channel. You're on TikTok, Lex, so you might have even seen it. But there's a Twitch channel that all it is a camera facing at a stop sign that, like, no one ever stops at. Like, it's in a neighborhood, and people just blow through the stop sign and, like, chat, like, goes crazy whenever people actually do stop, or, like, they'll, like, wager, like, oh, how many cars do you think until someone finally stops at the stop sign? And it's, like, as much as we like to, you know, rip on Twitch for, like, the shit that it does, like,
I've never seen this.
It just popped up. Like, I saw it on TikTok, and then I saw an article talk about it, but I think it's funny that, like, someone has, you know, a camera facing a stop sign, and it's, like, taking over. I don't know the legality of that, because I thought you couldn't stream, like, stuff like that, because you're technically streaming other people without their permission. So there might be a moral gray area, and that channel could potentially go down, because people are probably going to report it, but it's fun. It's just something new that, like...
Oh, you want to get reported?
Not particularly, no. I like my channel. But then the one thing I wanted to talk to you about and really get your input, because I know you're not going to like this, is I saw, literally just now I was looking at it, it's an article on Polygon about the best games of 2021 so far.
Okay.
And on that list was Valheim. Now, I know you have your concerns with early access games, and especially when they're, like, put on the list of, like, you know, completed games, and then you've got, because I mean, you saw the list, they had, like, Hitman 3, Persona, and then you've got this super early access game. And so I haven't played it. I know we've talked about getting it, but what are your thoughts at the fact, like, you know, an early access game made, like, this editorial board's top list? Because I personally think it's a great game, but it's like, maybe save it for release games, like full-blown, like, publish and release games.
I was going to say that...
Because there's chance that this game could change entirely, and it's like, well, now it sucks.
As long as this is 2021 is the only year that it's allowed to be included in stuff, then I'm okay with it.
So, like, let's say it gets finished in 2022, and it's really good. Like, you don't want it to be like, oh, best game of 2022. Nope. It's like Valheim. It's like, oh.
Nope. 2021.
Okay, I think that's more fair. At least you give it a chance. See, I was on the opposing end. Like, let it be on someone's list when it's done. And like I said, I know a lot of people who don't even play games like that who are playing it. So it must be doing something right. So I'd like to try it out one day, maybe when it goes on sale. But early access games don't like to do that. But it's just, I mean, Technically, Among Us is still an early access game, and, like, that won, like, awards. Or no, was it completed? Among Us might be a completed game.
I think it's done.
Speaking of early access games, we picked up this $5 early access game. It's been out for a while, called Pacify.
Jesus. Not
too long ago. You know, we're fans of Phasmophobia. We're kind of in this co-op horror. But holy shit, is that game terrifying. And I still think it's unreasonably hard. I mean, we looked up, like, what it takes to beat it, and, like, even trying, we couldn't get 30% of the way there. Maybe we just suck ass, but, you know, for $5, I think that's one of those early access games I can get behind, because it's cheap. There's not a lot to it. I'm not saying that it's going to die out soon. It probably will, but for $5, we got our money's worth, like, immediately. I think that's fun. I would never throw it on the list, though, unless it was just like, what's a good way to waste money? It's like, oh, here you go.
I wouldn't say it's wasting money.
Yeah,
I like it.
What about do you like Phasmophobia adding haptic feedback response on top of the VR support that it has?
I'm not sure how long I would enjoy haptic feedback for a game like that, to be honest. Might be a little too much for me.
Hey, we're slowly getting closer to the Ready Player One era of VR that you've been wanting. We got haptic stuff now.
Good, because that means after games I can drag people and their avatars out of games and beat the fuck out of them.
I mean, they make the treadmills. VR is getting better. Speaking of VR, I don't think we talked about it last time. The PS5 PSVR.
Yes.
Looks good.
Yes.
It looks.
Yes.
It looks like a PC contender. I don't know if you looked up any like specs or whatever.
I don't have any specs, but I mean, I looked up, what's coming out, and obviously the biggest change from PSVR 1 to PSVR 2 are going to be the motion controllers.
Yeah. So, but they're still supporting, like PS5 was still going to support the PS4 hardware and shit, right? Like,
I assume so.
I'm just wondering how they're going to be able to, because I know games are going to start being built for PS5's VR. So I'm hoping that we haven't seen a price tag yet. So we're hoping that people who don't shell out the money for a PSVR 2 don't kind of get left in the dust. Because I would hope that, I mean, what do you think? Do you think Sony would still support?
I think it depends on how much work. I think for Sony produced games, yes.
Okay, like first party, yeah.
Yeah, but anything third party, I think it's going to depend on how much work that company has to do to patch in these new controllers.
And probably how big the studio is.
Right.
Like if it's like some small indie studio, they're probably just going to be like, no.
But if Sony says, hey, we're willing to pay you to do it.
I think that would be a good investment on their part. What are your thoughts? So, like, with Microsoft acquiring Bethesda, I saw a rumor. I haven't followed up on it, so I can touch back on it next episode. But apparently there were rumors that Microsoft wants to buy Discord. And a lot of people are like, I don't think it's true. I don't think... It was just like one line where it was said, but it's like, I don't think Microsoft would do that because, like, they just bought Bethesda for 7.5. Allegedly, the rumor said they'd be buying Discord for 10 billion. And it's like, I don't think Microsoft can afford to be making all these big purchases when, its flagship first-party games are still, like, extremely lackluster.
Well, I mean, I just don't see what the business proposition is there to buy Discord.
Well, so you can already, like, kind of link your Xbox to your Discord, so I would assume it would be a way for them to add Discord integration into like Xbox Party Chat, but that's taking away, like, people won't use Xbox Party Chat, they'll use Discord. So it's like, it almost seems weird that Microsoft be like, yeah, we're going to buy this and pretty much just can the Xbox Party system. And it's like, I don't know. And for 10 billion, that's a lot. For a free app, that's a fuckload.
Right.
Like I said, they bought Bethesda like for 7.5. And it's like, I love Discord. I think it's great, but it's like, I don't, comparing it, saying it's $2.5 billion worth more than Bethesda, you can get the fuck out. Even if Bethesda's had rocket launchers, hell no. But that's all. Those are all the topics I have for now, if I can think of anything.
All right,
but
it's been a good cast.
Fuck yeah. Dude, what are your topics, boy?
I have something I wanted to bring up that maybe you can speak to. So I never saw Justice League.
Oh, God.
But... And, Justice League has a bunch of negative feedback. Also, sorry if you can hear clicking. Kevin has this...
I have a key switch tester, and he is going to town on it.
I can't stop clicking them, so... I don't think you can hear it when I don't have it right next to the mic, so... But if you can, that's what that is.
So I'm assuming you're talking about the Zack Snyder.
Yeah, so everyone hated the original. I feel like in aggregate, most people hated it.
Yeah. I mean, DC movies almost in general, other than, like, The Dark Knight or... kind of universally like disliked. I mean, I can't think of like a movie that's like everyone's like, oh fuck yeah, DC. It's like, nah. Maybe The Flash.
Probably The Flash.
Yeah.
But so on HBO, again, HBO going hard, the Zack Snyder director's cut, which is like 4.5 hours long.
Dude, it's so fucking long.
Came out and it's getting rave reviews.
So yeah, I mean, I've seen nothing but positive, well, almost positive. The one you said you haven't seen it yet,
Have
right?
not seen the
original. One criticism I see is that I thought it was kind of funny is that anytime like Wonder Woman's on screen, they play like her like theme, which is like some like very like vocal, like loud track that plays, and people are just, I see people memeing it on TikTok, and it's like whenever Wonder Woman opens like the fridge to get some milk, and it just shows some guy dressed like Wonder Woman, and like it's just blaring this music. But I'll give it a watch. 4 hours is just a lot. Like,
I would say I literally just finished watching Return of the King Extended Edition, which was like 5.5, but it took 2 nights.
But I can justify that because it's Lord of the Rings. Like, DC doesn't have a good track record. It's like, you're pretty much just being like, hey, we've made a fuckload of bad movies, but here's this 4.5 hour one. It's worth it. It's like,
get your popcorn.
Like Lord of the Rings, it's like, hey, we've made 3, like,
it's going to be epic.
We've made 3 flawless movies. You want to watch a longer version of it? And it's like, fuck yeah, I do. But my only thing, and I think I told you about this, is that I don't understand why, unless you can get it reformatted, but I saw an article that said that the movie is filmed in 4:3 aspect ratio, which is a more square instead of like the widescreen that we're used to seeing. For it, that was like apparently his like quote, like creative vision, and it's like, why? Wouldn't you think with like as epic as that movie's supposed to be, you'd want like ultra wide 4K like IMAX quality? Like, why would you just be like, no, you just get a box to watch? It's like, I don't think it makes sense. I'll give it a watch at some point. If I'm being honest, I'm in no.
Did you see the original?
No.
Okay.
That's the other reason. It's like, I'm not invested into it. Maybe it's worth watching the original and then following it up like with the Zack Snyder cut to see like if they really did good. Because I feel like going into the Zack Snyder cut, I'm still just going to be kind of negative and just be like, I really don't care.
I think I'll give it a shot.
I mean, the only DC movie I really actually wanted to see and haven't was Shazam, because that looked kind of funny. Where it was like the kid who like turns into the superhero and he's kind of like,
right.
That looks fun. And I think that one actually did get pretty positive reviews. But I don't know, maybe next cast we could follow up on it. I mean,
I'm going to try to watch it next weekend, so maybe.
I don't have HBO, so we'll see. So this will pretty much be on you. I might borrow it from a friend, but we'll see. But did you have something else you want to talk about too?
I mean, just to close that last thought out, my only concern with it is what could have changed between the original to this extended cut that now makes it good.
We might have to get
you know what I mean?
Maybe after we watch it, we can get Will in again, get him to come in as a guest in, because he's big into comics and stuff. He could go over all of that in detail, because I know he follows anything involving that industry like really well. But I don't know.
I really hate these loud keys.
The clicky clackies. Like,
sounds really bad. I kind of like these heavy silent keys.
dude, fuck yeah, they're good. But so like another movie that apparently, because I was like looking and thinking about like other director's cuts movies. Apparently, the original Blade Runner, there was like,
I watched the director's cut.
Apparently, like the original that came out, like the non-director's cut was pretty bad, and then the director's cut was awesome. So it's like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, they're the director of a movie, so I'm assuming they know what they're doing. But it's like, it seems kind of crazy that it's like, no, the director's cuts always seem to be good, and like I don't know who it's up to, the producers, the studio, or is just like, we don't like this, we're doing it our way, and it's like, oh, okay, well, like why not follow, the person you fucking hired to direct the movie? Like, I don't know enough about it or how that industry works, but
follow the money, boy.
You know what? Yeah. As we've talked about a lot in this cast with how massive corporations handle their money, it's exactly that. Follow the money, boy. Nice. He's looking at the waveforms on the recording program, and it's blowing his mind. So another thing,
lots of clicks.
So another thing I saw, I don't think you keep up with it, but there's a professional esports team. They're called the 100 Thieves. And apparently they got in trouble by Riot because they were playing.
Fuck Riot.
Pretty much what they said is like they were playing an online tournament, and online tournament for money, and they were playing against like they were playing it where like they had like the bad ping in both matches, like, and the rules were apparently like kind of flipped so that they had bad ping both times, and the players got pissed because it's like that game's hit detection and like connection's pretty fucking bad for being.
What do you mean when you say bad ping?
So I'm looking at the article. So it's a little bit of a read, but this is 100 Thieves. They released like their official statement or whatever. And It's like, we disagree with Riot's competitive ruling against our Valorant head coach Frost and strongly disagree with Riot's public release and mischaracterization of the incident after we complied with their investigation and found around a minor competitive matter. In a previous match, the tournament organizer made a ruling regarding ping in servers that favored our opponent. In the subsequent match, the TO again made a ruling around ping in servers that was not in our favor, and which was in direct contradiction with the rules they cited previously. Our team held up the game so the coach could challenge the ruling. As an escalation situation, Frost told the tournament organizers, quote, "If you DC us, you're in a bigger shitstorm than we are," but never threatened to leverage social media as was stated by Riot. And it's so it keeps going on, but apparently like the teams they were playing against were playing on like single digit ping while they were playing on like 70, 80 ping like that, which at a super professional level, I can kind of see.
But how does that happen?
Because where like the servers are located. So I don't know where they were, but apparently like one team was a lot closer to where the server was, like the server that they were playing off of was, which gave them, the lower ping advantage. And I don't know how to feel about this, because it's like I almost just want to say, well, like, this is the only way we're going to get tournaments in COVID, so it's like take it or leave it. But at the same time,
That's where I'm at.
But at the same time, it's like when you do play like, a team of 5 ping versus team of 70 ping, it's like there is a difference there at a professional level. And apparently Riot coming out and being like, "Oh, well, we're fining you and like we're suspending you," and people are like, this isn't the move.
Wait, why is Riot fining and suspending them?
Because they're like, it's a Valorant tournament. They're like the Riot is very in tune with their competitive league. It's not like Smash where like Nintendo stays out of pocket. Like Riot is directly involved with their tournaments. So the fact that like, the team was being like, "Hey, like, fuck you, like your rulings are bullshit," Riot was like, "All right, well, here's a $5,000 fine." And they're just like, the fuck, man? Like, I don't know. It's like I said, it's a double-edged sword. That's the best we're going to get. I mean, if you want to make money and play tournaments in COVID, I either meet up at like, maybe one team travels to like a LAN center close to the other one, or I don't know, just tough shit. As bad as that sounds, tough shit. Because I mean, imagine Overwatch with like, a bunch of ping, like high ping versus low ping. It's like you get rocked. Mm-hmm. And Valorant's even more precise than that. So I feel it, but I can't really be like, "Oh man, justice for 100 Thieves." It's like, oh well, tough shit. Do you like that? Do you want to play Valorant? Nice. All right, well, we're going to boot up Valorant now then. It's just ready to go. We're about to get our Silver 2 this year, or this season. God, we're so fucking bad at that game.
That is an interesting point, though. I hadn't thought about specifically with tournaments, is that you've always had tournaments in person.
Mm-hmm. So the connection is the exact same for...
It's all Ethernet.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's got the exact same. I never thought about that before, in that if it's virtual, obviously somebody has a ping advantage if you're not in the exact same spot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the only middle ground you could do is like pick a server in the middle ground, but it's like on Valorant, I think when you boot up, there's like a couple California servers, a Texas, like a Georgia. There's like, I think the team was located like more in the West, and the servers were like they were playing on were more East. Because there's nothing like in the middle of the country, really. There's no like, a lot of people are saying like you need a Colorado server. So it's like maybe like a Colorado server would have been more in balance with where the teams were located at.
Interesting.
But I don't know how much it costs to like open up a whole new server somewhere else. I mean, Riot's making enough money with how much they're charging for their fucking skins.
$80, boy, pay up.
If they had a market value like Counter-Strike where you could sell them for actual money, I would buy them in a heartbeat and just be like, you know what, it's an investment. But it's like, dude, I can't pay $80 for a skin that makes your gun
a shitty game.
It's a great game. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna play tonight.
No, we're not.
We could play Overwatch tonight.
You're still banned.
I am still banned. That's rough.
Perma ban, boy. You can play HOTS, but you're also banned.
I'm not banned on HOTS yet because I never play it.
Wait, I thought. It's not your whole Blizzard account. It's just Overwatch.
Yeah. I don't like MOBA. I might just start up to playing HOTS, just something to play. It's the closest thing to Overwatch. They've got Lucio and Zarya, and that's it, right? Only
Ana,
Overwatch.
Tracer, Lucio, Zarya, Junkrat, Hanzo.
They have Hanzo?
They have Hanzo. That might be it.
I'm trying to think of how Hanzo would work.
Genji's in there too.
I'm trying to think of how Hanzo would work in a game like that.
He shoots his arrows.
Is it relatively, because it's like
They all have the same abilities they have in Overwatch.
Okay, I thought they tweaked him up a little bit.
I mean, tweaked, yeah, but he still has his dragon, the rapid shot.
Okay.
Genji has blade. Ana has nano. Lucio has barrier.
They need to add Ryan into that. I'm surprised
He would totally change the game. I think they need to add Zenyatta.
Ooh.
He would be good in that kind of game.
Because it's like, I mean, in that role, it has like, I'm assuming Zarya is like a tank role, because they have like tank roles, right?
They have Zarya as support, but not healer.
Oh, okay, so there's a difference.
Right.
Is there like a role that is tank, though?
Yes, they have like a tank.
Why don't they add Ryan? And he's like, Ryan is almost like the face of Overwatch. Like,
I think it's just maybe they don't want to deal with like the complexities of trying to bring him into that kind of game.
Maybe.
Because he'd be so, I don't know. I mean, I'm all for it, but.
Yeah, I mean, maybe with the way MOBAs are played, like it might be more annoying to deal with versus like a shooter you can just kind of hammer and work around him. Because there's no like scale of verticality with like.
Right.
Versus like, I mean, if someone's shielding, easiest thing to do is go up and over him because then he has to look up and expose himself. I don't know, but I'm in. Well, fuck yeah. All right. All right, we done with the cast. It's going to be a short cast. I don't give a shit. I'll go downstairs and we can drink more beer.
I do have an article.
Fuck yeah.
From IGN.
Whoa.
By IGN staff, quote unquote.
Is that who it says the article's by?
Yes, by IGN staff.
Okay.
So sick. The best FPS campaigns of all time.
Ooh, okay.
It's top 10.
Okay.
So I'll go through 10 through 6, and then
we'll do.
You can guess 5 through 1.
Okay.
Number 10, Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Like COD 4 Modern Warfare or like Modern Warfare 2019?
2007.
Okay. I'll take that, yeah.
Halo 3 at number 9.
Okay.
He made a face.
Okay.
What's the face for?
I'm assuming because there's going to be other Halos on this list, right?
Maybe.
Okay. If it's not a one, because I know some whenever they do like lists, they're like one game per series. Yes, that.
8 is Doom Eternal.
Okay. So this is kind of weird.
7 is BioShock.
It's a very weird list already.
6 is Halo Combat Evolved.
Okay. All right, so 5 of
we have
first
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
like best stories.
Yes. Best FPS campaigns. It doesn't qualify.
So I know it's. Oh wait, it's not It's not first person. Spec Ops isn't first person, right? Spec Ops: The Line.
Third person.
Fuck, I was gonna say that would have to be a top 5 easily.
Oh, you think?
Okay, well then
You thinky winky?
Doom.
You want?
Doom 2016 has to be on there then. So Doom 2016's got to be on there somewhere, I feel like.
Nope.
All right. I thought 2016 was better than Eternal.
Idiot.
Halo 2?
Nope.
All right, so they said Halo 1 and Halo 3's campaigns were better than 2.
Yep.
Okay, I'm out.
I wanted all of them to be Halo.
No, I just wanted Halo 2 to be on that list. Battlefield, Bad Company.
Nope.
Damn it, that game was so funny.
You haven't gotten any of the 5 yet.
I'm thinking more modern games, so they're probably older ones, right? Like,
It's a mix. It's a mix, Bubba.
Brute Force.
Nope.
Oh, Brute Force was third person anyway, wasn't it?
Yep.
Fuck. I'm looking at some of my games right
Want me to
now.
do one of them?
Sure.
So number 5 is Wolfenstein: The New Colossus.
Okay. What about any one of the metros? Probably Metro Exodus.
Nope.
I'm out with this list.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm kind of out.
Number 4 is Doom 1993.
Oh shit. Okay, I was in the right ballpark.
3, Half-Life Alyx.
Okay.
And then keep guessing for 2 and 1. 2's going to piss you off. And 1, you'll be like, oh, yeah, man. Good one, man.
If Half-Life Alyx is on there, Half-Life 2's got to be one of them then.
What do you think?
1.
Yes.
Okay.
So what's number 2?
The fact that you're like, I'm going to get pissed off, I'm trying to think of like what would piss me off.
It just doesn't belong here, in my opinion.
I don't know. Grand Theft Auto?
Titanfall 2.
I like Titanfall 2, man. Titanfall 2,
Number 2 best campaign all time?
yeah, no, it shouldn't be on this list. Maybe like further down. It is a fun campaign, but
Oh, you want to touch my campaign?
was Doom 1993 the only like non-current gen game on that list? Other than like the Halo games, I guess.
Half-Life 2.
I guess you have. I keep forgetting how old Half-Life 2 is.
We were
I played that on Xbox in high school.
like middle school.
Yeah, because I think it came out on
The orange box came out on Xbox.
Yeah, because it's like I played it when it was on the orange box, but I know it was out on PC before the orange box was a thing, right?
Right.
That game holds up so well to this day. It really fucking does. We got to get Synergy installed and play it.
I'm in.
I'm totally in. That list pisses me off. Are there any? Does it go down past 10, or is that just where it was?
That's it.
Okay, I didn't know if they had runner-ups.
That's it. No more than listen.
I'm fine with. Yeah, that list upsets me a little bit.
Oh, you don't like?
Did you ever play? So I knew it was kind of a one-off thing, but did you ever play the Bad Company, like Battlefield Bad Company campaign, like the kind of humorous Battlefield game?
Bad Company 2?
Bad Company 1.
I don't remember. 2 I know I did because it ends in Nacogdoches, Texas. And you jump out of the airplane.
Yes. Yeah, so Bad Co 1 was like a comedy game because it was like I remember the cover was like the grenade with the smiley face as a pin.
Right.
And like they're looking for like gold. And it's like that game was so well received and so funny. That's why Bad Co 2 let me down, is because I was like expecting, funny shooter game part 2, and it was like super serious war. And I'm like, God damn it.
I enjoyed the multiplayer of 2. We played all the time with all the boys.
Dude, I just remember playing in high school and our friend Ben just constantly like blowing out the walls that I would hide behind. I would like be in a building trying to snipe, and he would just be like, "Hey, you sniping?" Just blow out the wall from in front of me, and I'm like, "Cool, thanks."
Hey, you sniping?
I think Christian would do that shit too, and then I would call him, and he'd get. Fuck yeah. I mean, I don't have anything else I want to talk about. Like I said, it was more smaller cast.
What else is on your mind, boy?
I want to play Overwatch.
You can't. What's your plan then?
I guess I'll just keep playing Call of Duty and Halo.
I did see an article. Sugar. A while ago that was talking about how Fortnite is the most influential game of the past decade and will also be the most influential game of the next decade.
So what do they mean by influential?
I think just overall grasp of like community and gaming and outside of gaming and bringing shit into gaming.
I don't know. I think it's bolder than to say the next generation, but I think it does make sense. I mean, you've seen like the integration with like, Star Wars, like The Mandalorian, Tenet. They had Travis Scott. Like, they are really just bringing any form of like popular media into their game, and I think that, and they had Marvel. I think that has a good point, but I don't think Fortnite will hold that title for the entire next generation too. That seems pretty bold to say. Because you could argue that COD still has like its influence in a lot of stuff, but
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty sucks, man.
It does suck. I used to love the campaigns. I haven't even played a campaign in a while.
I mean, the Modern Warfare, the one from last year, the campaign wasn't that bad. It was interesting, but like, dude, the multiplayer just sucks. I still enjoy Modern Warfare 2019, but since like Ghosts, I haven't enjoyed a campaign like between those games. And this new one, Black Ops Cold War, is just a fucking dumpster fire.
Why?
So this skill-based matchmaking, which is like the thing that people hate in Call of Duty, is like so aggressively tuned up in that game that pretty much any game you play, like they're expecting you to average out. Like they're not expecting like someone to be like really good or like really bad. They want pretty much everyone in the lobby to have the same average score. So if you do like really good one game, the next game you play, you're going to get your shit rocked because they want your score to average and balance out as like a 1-to-1 thing. So it's like people are going so far as to just go into lobbies and just like kill themselves for entire games in a row to like pull their rank down because it's like they can't go play without just getting absolutely sweated on. And normally I'm like, that's fine, but they have a ranked play. They have a ranked version. They have league play in the game. If you already have a ranking system and a ranked mode in the game, like keep it in that. Don't play it. Don't put it in public matchmaking where people just go to chill. If that makes any sense. It's like the same thing of like when we play like quick play Overwatch versus competitive Overwatch. It's like, what if quick play Overwatch was played exactly like competitive Overwatch? Like,
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I agree. I like that in quick play sometimes I can get my teeth stomped in.
yeah, I mean,
I don't care. It's quick play.
yeah, that's the thing is it's like,
It should just be whatever.
yeah, I mean, it matches you with whoever versus like if you look at the general ranks of like, you know, skill-based matchmaking lobbies, you're going to get put against people who are the same. So it's like every game just feels stale and stagnant because it's like the same fucking thing every game. You're not going to go off. You're not going to do bad. You're just going to do decent. There's like a couple. Apparently, if you play with friends, it like fucks up the system and you can have more like relaxed or like less skill-based affected matchmaking, which is fun. But if you go to solo queue like I play, it sucks. But I don't know. I want them to remaster like an old Call of Duty 2. Like bring back like MW 2 or an old World War. Bring back Big Red 1. That'd be badass.
That's old.
That's so old. Speaking of old games, I got EA Access, like EA Play with my Game Pass. They have Medal of Honor Airborne on there. I remember that was a game you were saying was really good.
I like it.
So I'm going to give it a try. I mean, I'm assuming the campaign's good. Multiplayer's probably dead, but I'm assuming it's got a decent campaign since that's what you were talking about.
Did you see that your favorite company has a new release?
My favorite company.
Yeah, you hate them. Every time you mention them, you have to talk about how shitty they are.
Oh, Nintendo.
Which I still don't even you're supposed to still give me like on one of our next casts, you need to give me like a 10-minute
I will.
a 10-minute deal.
I'll build like a bullet points thing.
You seem to have actual points.
I hate Nintendo.
Why? I don't get it.
I have it for you next cast. I will have a bullet point thing laid out and I will explain it. I am not a fan of Nintendo, but what's their new fucking release? Something reskinned for the 50th time that their fans are gonna be like, it's so new and creative. Fuck off. That's one of my reasons I hate them.
It's kind of close. Monster Hunter Rise came out this week. This is an article from the Washington Post.
I'm assuming on Switch, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And so the first sentence of this article by Gene Park is, I can hardly believe a game this large that runs this smoothly exists on Nintendo Switch.
The one thing I will give the Switch and Nintendo props for is they know how to optimize pretty much any game they touch, like first party game, because I believe Monster Hunter is made by Capcom, but they used to be on like, you know, the DS, like, so Nintendo knows what they're doing, but it's like, you know, first party Nintendo games and like a lot of games that they have their fingers in, they know how to optimize them to run really fucking well. Like, I mean, like, look at, like, you know, Mario Kart, Mario World. Those games look really good, and they play really smooth, so I'll give them that. I know Call of Duty, or not Call of Duty, what was the new game that just came out on Switch? Apex Legends. Apparently, Apex Legends runs like shit on the Switch.
I could see that.
I saw a rumor, I don't know if it's confirmed, because Nintendo hasn't said anything, but there's going to be, like, a Nintendo Switch Pro that comes out later this year that's supposed to be, like, a lot more powerful.
I was going to say, like, the first response I have to that article is that Nintendo no longer deserves a pass for squeezing what they can out of their consoles.
And what do you mean?
That's their thing.
So that's kind of like what I was just saying.
Well, I just mean like, oh, they're like, oh, I can't believe they got this much world out of this console.
Oh, versus like on PC or something, or Xbox, like, it's like
they've been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, why are we still talking about? You know, tell me why the game is good, not why the console is overperforming what it should be doing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like, to me, that's annoying. It's like, look, this is what Nintendo's always done. Nintendo doesn't try to run The Witcher 3 at the highest graphics.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't try to do that. Stop applauding it for doing something.
The one time, like, yeah.
Tell me about the game.
Dude.
Why should I get the game? Not, it's doing so much for the console.
That's why you should get the game.
It's always done that.
That's why you should get the game, because it makes the console look good. Who gives a fuck about the game as long as it makes the console look good?
You hate Nintendo. I can see it in your eyes. He's like glaring at me.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I like Pokemon. Like, I played a lot of
Mario Kart. I played last night.
Yeah, Mario Kart's fun, but it's just like Nintendo. Like I said, I'll have a bullet point on it. Nintendo's culture and the way they handle a lot of their situations and a lot of their fan base just really pisses me off. Oh, it's so unique and creative. I love Mario Kart, but it's like, when, you know, new Mario Karts come out, it's like, it's the same basic concept since day one. And people are like, oh, look how new and innovative it is. It's like, it's fucking not. It's the same thing you've been playing for 25 years. Suck my dick. Like, even half the maps are remade. Like, don't get me wrong, Rainbow Road's a classic, but it's like, dog, we've been seeing Rainbow Road since like the 80s or 90s. Come on. Like, I love it as a map, but like, that's like the one thing people are like, oh man, I love Rainbow Road. And it's like, what do you think about Call of Duty? Oh, it's the same thing. Hey, what map are we playing that we've been playing for, 25 years? It's so good. Fuck off.
You've got feelings about this.
It's so stupid because I see, that's kind of like what you're saying, like how Nintendo,
the consoles themselves seem to get a pass.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
My thing is, it's like,
versus everybody's always talking about the Xbox and the PlayStation and like, oh, here's its specs and its power, and it's like, oh, it's not living up to its power.
Yeah, no one looks at Nintendo's like, their graphics, their processor, their all stuff. They're just like, hey, new handheld console that I can play on my TV. Sweet.
But it's like, and I'm not trying to rail on Nintendo because like, Zelda Breath of the Wild looked great and it was very stylized.
Exactly. That's the word. It's stylized.
Yeah, Nintendo is very excellent at stylizing their games, but then don't give them like, I don't know. I just thought that was the way that they started that article was awful.
Yeah. Because it's like
you're telling me the game isn't very good. You're just impressed that the console can run the game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? What the fuck is that?
Like Breath of the Wild is probably about the same size as like like a Skyrim or a GTA map, but the way it's stylized and built for the console, it works. Now, don't take something that wasn't built for the console, but like, man, look how good the console is. It's like, well, if you're bringing it to it, it should fucking work. Like, obviously,
right. I mean, these are professional devs and porters.
Yeah, and my thing. So like, my biggest one of my big gripes with Nintendo is kind of like what you're saying. Is it's like, people will flame Xbox and Microsoft or Xbox and Sony and like other game devs for the same shit that they'll praise Nintendo for, in the sense that it's like, people will rip on like Call of Duty or like sports games being the same thing every single year, no innovation, but then will lose their fucking mind when Mario Party 18 comes out. It's like, damn, dude, like you're playing a little bit of bias right there. It's like, I don't know, it's dumb. And then they'll be like, oh, like, kind of like what you're saying. It's like, oh man, like look how big and massive this game is. And it's like, okay, well look at, The Witcher 3, how it's like 50 of these in one. It's like, oh well, it's like, no, it's like if you're gonna compare apples to apples, like don't get pissed when like your apple's a rotten piece of shit and mine's like big and juicy.
All right. I want this bullet point list next time.
Yeah, I'm going off of like
we could have a genuine whole cast about this.
Yeah, I'm getting heated, so my thoughts aren't coherent. That's why I like
talking about apples.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, let me write it down so I don't just go off on tangents like this. Fuck you. This has been episode 46?
I don't know.
Who cares?
I don't care.
Fuck this podcast. This is what we get for doing another podcast in person. It's just a dumpster fire. I'm gonna go drink more beer.
Oh, you gonna drink my poop? Are you smiling?
Oh, you smiley wiley, poopy whoopy.
You smiling?
Yeah, I am, dude. Just fucking finish your thing. It's hot as fuck in my room. Let's get out.
Are you smiling?
You're not even nipping. That's how hot it is.
Are you smiling?
Yes. Jesus Christ! What a fucking loser. Shot?
No, we gotta get that dude.
Shot?
Dude,
He's too afraid to take a shot. Heard it now.
Get that